If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. Well, hey, you guys know what time it is. It's a comments video. We will be reading all the comments from one of my videos. Usually on like towards a weekend video, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I say, hey, leave a comment and I'll read it on my second channel and I'll read through all of them. And that's what we're doing now. And also the title of the video, whatever we discuss there'll be a timestamp to that in the pinned comment as well. And thank you all for just being here, of course, as always, especially during this tumultuous time on FC, which I'm sure we'll get into plenty here. But okay, let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. We got Joshua Abbott, who says, I wish there were less paid Evos because I'm trying to save coins for the next season pass, or sorry, because I'm trying to save coins for the next season pass, and it is impossible to sell anything on the transfer market. Well, I guess, I mean, yeah, someone replied down here and was like, we are in May, just use your coins. 500k in this useless finished game isn't worth anything. I think what he's trying to say is he doesn't have coins for that, but he wishes there were less paid Evos. So I guess you're probably just trying to say you don't want to have to choose between paid Evos or like the paid season pass coming up here and whatever that is. The nice thing is if you buy the paid season pass at any point during the season, you'll get all the rewards for it. So you can save up coins up to 2 days before next season if you want to buy next paid season pass in what, like say that's 50 days or 60 days or something like that. Oh, but yeah, someone said like Scott Batty just spend the £8. You know, you might £8 for you might be like 8 cents for some people, right? It might be literally nothing to you, but I wouldn't advise giving EA your money. I personally would not advise that. Next up here, we got Jacob Jones. As the year goes on, each additional Playstyle Plus is less of an increase compared to the previous set of cards. 1 Playstyle Plus to 2 Playstyle Plus is double, 2 to 3 is another 50%, 3 to 4 is 33%. Each increment is making less difference to the upgrade. So it gets to the point where who cares if you get the latest cards, especially when EA go to the extra Playstyle Plus, they give it as a trickster or first touch, etc. That's a good point too, is that, yeah, just the interest in a 4th Playstyle Plus compared to a 3rd just isn't really there as much, right? Because it's not that big of a deal. And most of the time for the first, what, 2 or 3 weeks, you see the majority of cards get a Relentless, a Trickster, or something like that. That can be useful, but isn't that obviously amazing. And I think you're probably right that does play into it. I mean, I'm at the point now where I actually thought when Playstyles came out, I liked it because it allowed you to do things you weren't able to do before in gameplay. Like Incisive Pass Plus, those passes you can make with that makes sense. You couldn't make them prior to Playstyles, but if you just remove Playstyles and allow us to still make those same passes, then like, why not? The problem is, of course, if you make every player have long ball plus, it has good passing, basically, if you removed Playstyles, right? Certain things would end up being probably more overpowered, right? You Power Shot Plus, right? You gave that to everybody and Power Shot ends up being insane, then it's broken. So they have this problem where it's like, okay, if we go back on this now, how do we rebalance it? Because right now they have a very interesting thing they can do when there's something that's broken in the game. They can just not give it out for a while, and that'll help a lot with the problem. Like say Travella Plus, when that was really broken, I think it was like beginning of last year, it's still obviously very, very good, which ironically, actually, the Travellas I'm talking about, not even Travella Plus. Travella Plus isn't even that great. It's more so just doing the Travellas even without the playstyle. But last year, Travella Plus was like crazy for a little bit, and they just for a couple weeks just didn't give anybody Travella Plus while they were trying to balance it. Now, how do you revert the playstyles and go back on them, but then allow all the players to still be able to do playstyle things on the pitch? That's where I think it's a big undertaking, and EA just don't simply want to do that. So I think we're more likely to see roles be gone than playstyles, but then again, roles were introduced just this year. They're probably going to give it at least another year with roles. So next year, it'll be roles and playstyles again. I'd be willing to put money on both of them being there, and it's just not going to change. Hopefully, they can make some power curve changes. I'm sure they're going to. Can't be worse than this year, but I do think it's going to be mostly the same in terms of like the core of what the cards look like. Maybe they go to over 100 rated, you know, I'm not sure. But okay, snap back to reality. This is Way, another cup objective with exclusive rewards where me as a casual will only face sweats, glitchers, hardcore, maniacs, and hackers. The game has far gone towards the meta abusers and hardcore players. We actually talked about this in my video today that came out, with no exchanges and the non-existence of a good menu grind with personalized pack weight, for me at least, with the only option of getting fodder is wasting coins on store packs, makes this game more than a pain to play, and yes, makes it absolute hell. I mean, I think, yeah, once again, we talked about this in my video today. Right now is bad for everybody. It's bad for the casual, bad for the hardcore player. There's nothing to like do right now, so it's bad for everybody. And yes, there's things that are meant maybe more towards a hardcore player, meant more towards a casual player, and you do need them to drop things that are meant for kind of one or the other. Like hardcore players players need to be understanding when EA drops something that is for the casuals, and then obviously vice versa. But with the way things are right now, it's bad for everybody, so it doesn't help. I mean, that definitely doesn't help. Shaft of 2010 88s on PC are 1,600 a snipe. We talked about that earlier today as well, and the fodder prices are a joke. That's the biggest indicator to me that people just don't give a fuck right now, because why would you? And EA are probably going to change that eventually, but they are taking their sweet time, and it's costing them, I think. Footy 111, honestly, I wish they made the cup rewards attainable by having unlimited games. Champs and rivals are sweaty enough every week, so having the friendly cups being another sweat fest is too much. I'm only an 11/10 win champs player, which, by the way, 11 to 12 win champs player, you're in like the top 1%. So I missed Maldini and Mycom by 1 to 3 games, and it sucks, lol. And obviously that goes into, once again, like, you're an 11 to 12 win champs player and you still didn't get Maldini or Mycon. Obviously that's very sweaty, right? This is the thing, that the game mode in a vacuum I think is just fine. Actually, I think the game mode itself, the objective I should say, not like the friendlies game mode, I'm talking about just the objective itself, I think is fine. When you combine the objective with all of the other sweat shit that we've got in this game, that's when it becomes a problem. And the thing is, like, I think there's the other side to that coin where people say, how can you not make a sweaty game mode with rewards? Like, if it has rewards, it's going to be inherently sweaty. And there's levels to that. Like, yes, that's true to a certain extent, but if it was unlimited games, say, obviously the stakes are not very high. You can lose a game and it doesn't really matter that much. It just matters for your time. And if you don't really care about how much time it takes, then fuck it, you know, it doesn't really matter to you. That's how you can do things with rewards that are not as sweaty. Yes, you'll have people that you play that are going to be obviously sweating against you. That's how any competitive game works at all. People will be trying, but it's levels to like the stakes that are at hand with that game, and they could do a lot better with that to me. And yeah, when you add in that, it doesn't really help anything. Like, it's a cool game mode to introduce. The problem is it's not a different game mode to introduce, so you kind of nullify the coolness of it to a certain extent. C franchise, this TOTS is like the Warriors without Steph Curry. Ugh. I don't remember if you were you a 49ers fan, C franchise? So that probably means you're a Warriors fan too. Yeah, Steph what did he have, like 13 points in like 14 minutes, whatever he had in that series before I'm a Timberwolves fan. Steph was looking good, got hurt, and now it's a 3-1 series lead, and barring a collapse, yeah, the Steph injury. Also, Cooper Flag going out west. I mean, the West is going to be a bloodbath. They got to change. They got to go top 16 seeds or some shit, because the East is fucking my ass, and the West is literally like 10 incredible teams, 3 good teams, and then the Utah Jazz. So that's that. Grayson, if you put a low enough rated card into pump you up, it will fit pitch to dance. I'm sorry, I'm having an aneurysm reading this. It will fit pitch to dance floor and becomes a crazy card with 96 shooting and 99 physicals with the bomb emojis. Thanks, Grayson. Yeah, go to FUTGG to look at any Evo chains that are out there. That's always the best website. Not sponsored, but please sponsor me. Joel Santos, King J, you should consider uploading some gameplay or champs rewards. I'm sure a lot of us would def watch. Yeah, there you go. Read my comment like the okay. See, this is where you took it to the next level. Yeah, I talked about that today in my video actually too, ironically enough, is that I would upload more gameplay, and I still want to. I just have such a really hard time recording things that I don't have fun doing in the process. Like, I have fun making videos and recording things more than I did if I was just playing the game. The problem is that I feel like if I commit myself to being a gameplay guy, like say on this channel, right, and I upload gameplay every day or every other day or something like that, I have to stick to that, and I was like have a schedule, otherwise YouTube doesn't really reward you. And there's times when I go 5 days without playing this game to any extent other than just like hopping on and seeing what content is and making the videos, right? I've had like a week or two before that I've just not played champs, not played rivals, because I don't feel like it. I highly recommend playing the game that way, because you enjoy it way more when you actually want to play it. People play EAFC and FIFA so much that you burn out with it because you play it a lot, and obviously you burn out of most games you play a lot. That's not just an exclusive to FIFA thing, but if you play it when you like, oh, I kind of feel like hopping on, that's just so much of a more enjoyable experience, and not to be caught by the FOMO and stuff. So I have this like inherent idea, I guess, of like, if I go all in with the gameplay, then I need to do it every day or every other day, something like that. And there's just gonna be days when I don't want to play it, and if I make a video when I'm like, oh god, I don't want to hop on this day, like I don't want to play this game, I'm gonna hop on and make a video on it. Like the video is gonna suck dick. So I always have the problem of that in my head when I go and like want to make gameplay stuff. So yeah, of course I have the problem too of like where I'll probably overthink things, and that could be if I just upload a gameplay when I felt like it, maybe that would just be just fine. But I always feel like, okay, the algorithm isn't gonna like it, so I probably am overthinking things. But I also want to make things that I love doing, and that's why I make these videos. These videos are so fun for me. They're talking to you guys is just like the easiest thing in the world. Obviously, it takes a while to edit because I gotta edit a 50-minute cut com, but that's like the easiest thing to me. We got Snap Back to Reality back again here, who says, I'm gonna still say that Playstyle Pluses have ruined the experience in Ultimate Team. Okay, they're not Playstyles anymore, they're like superpowers. A Brazilian YouTuber slash streamer here in Brazil called Pavinha said himself that the experience in Ultimate Team has become harder to endure because of the inclusions of Playstyle Pluses. Remember the Aerial Plus meta? Now it's the Trivela meta without the base or Playstyle Plus. You time it green with anyone that goes in if you aim, even with goalkeepers. And the thing with that is, you know, the counter argument to that is that there's going to be meta shit and best things to do in game with or without playstyles. Like, for example, the bridge in FIFA 21. Was it 21 or 22 when the bridge? I think it was 21, maybe, when the bridge was at its peak. You know, that was pre-playstyles. FIFA 23 had Trivelas, I want to say 2 at one point. That was really overpowered, and that was before the playstyle pluses. So there's always going to be OP or kind of broken things in the game with or without playstyle pluses. Playstyle pluses just make it easier to tell what exactly it is, and it makes it easier for us to figure out what's broken earlier on in the year. I think that probably plays a part in it too. But the superpowers thing is true, and that's kind of why I think EA doesn't want to remove playstyle pluses at this point, maybe ever, because what do you do with players who have long ball plus, that have ping pass plus, that have, I don't know, the passing ones are the worst ones. But for example, even like intercept plus, or I mean, those ones though, they're not like cheesy. I mean, intercept plus just helps you intercept passes that are close to you. So giving everybody intercept plus technically on their card, that wouldn't probably even make the game worse. It might even make it better. Same with anticipate plus, it might just make the game better. But like block plus, maybe if every card had block plus, every card had long ball plus that had, say, above 90 or something like that in a certain stat, is that bad? So then you have to retune everything if you go back on playstyles, if it ends up that that's like broken, that where everyone with 90 plus of something gets playstyle pluses technically without getting playstyle pluses, if that makes sense. If you remove them from the game but they still can do the things that they used to do, that's why EA had this whole headache where it's like, we can't go back on this. I don't think EA, it's not even a possibility to them, honestly, I don't think, which sucks, because I think that is causing a massive problem with the power curve. It's causing a problem with, yeah, like you said, they're superpowers kind of, and that's kind of all anybody cares about anymore is playstyle pluses, because it's like, what powers does your card have? If it doesn't have the right powers that are insane, then it's like, who really cares? So just going back to card stats would be such a help, right? That would be, I think, the move, obviously, but I think that's a really big undertaking. Next up here is Dez. I've crafted / opened so many A3x10, A3x14s, haven't got a single TOTS in them since League One ended. I don't understand how that's possible, and he's complaining here about just like, you know, the pack weight basically being terrible, and he says he's been having fun by building different teams of off leagues, Eredivisie, Saudi League, Super League, etc., doing evos of previous cheap promo cards. And yeah, any way you can have fun in the game, obviously there are ways to have fun in this game, it's possible, but you can find fun in like anything, so it's kind of shit, it's kind of pointless to even say that. But however you can do that obviously is great. And then this part up here though, this is the conundrum right now. Pack weight bad, yet fodder low. So what's the point then? That's really where the main issue is right now, more than to me like the power curve stuff. Even that, I guess, kind of plays into this, so it's kind of the same thing, I suppose. But what's the worst part is fodder low, pack weight bad. So what, I mean, okay, what do you do then? And I just clicked the same comment. Okay, I don't know what happened there. The real e-spam. How many cuts are in your videos? Is this new generation not able to form 2 sentences together, or what? And if I just didn't cut my videos, it would be probably at a normal speaking pace, but that's not what people want. I mean, if I just right there, I just made a cut, right? It would have lasted a second or so. I mean, it's not like it's that big, but this is what cut commentaries are basically. You know, you probably have seen many of the guys who were the pioneers of the cut com, and it just helps with the flow of the video. And yes, you are right that the new generation is not able to form 2 sentences together probably without needing a cut. You're probably right about that. Like, that's not necessarily something I'd even disagree with, but I get compliments, people saying like, hey, thanks for the quick, concise videos that you make, because it's 15 minutes long and you get a lot of info in there, and if you miss something, rewind the video and you can play it again. But I do agree that TikTok brain is the reason for this, and you're not wrong. But also I've always attempted to not be the guy that goes, man, the new generation, they I don't like those guys. They're doing it all wrong. Every generation since ever has ever said that about the new generation. Now, I do agree there's also nuance in there where like we've never had the internet prior to like the last 25 years. We didn't have the social media in the last 15 years that other people have had to deal with. And so that's fundamentally changing our brains. So there is obviously nuance in there where it's like there is a lot that is different. But at the same time, we all need to be careful a bit, being like the new generation, they're fucking, they suck. It's like every generation ever has done that. You were told that too when you were growing up. But I am fully on board with like social media, not great. I mean, ironically, I make YouTube videos, but it's social media isn't a great place for most people, especially ones without a fully developed, you know, frontal cortex or frontal lobe, I think it is. Sorry, the show goes to show you, maybe my lobe isn't developed fully. Atlanta Brave, F this gameplay, F this pack weight, F these game modes, F these SBCs, F these leakers hyping over nothing, F these content creators hating 1 minute and hyping fake changes. Not you, obviously. Thanks. Fuck EA most of all. They know exactly what they're doing. Keep everyone divided. When people are divided, they are more easily controlled. Now you're spitting. This is also why I say, despite my disagreements with many creators who are on, you know, on EA's good terms, right? Despite all of that, it is really, EA love sitting there and going, yeah, you fight over, you know, who's got the coin sponsor, who doesn't. You know, you fight over that, you YouTubers, you creators. And then you split the fan bases, and the fan bases are fighting with each other, and they're not looking at us. Like, you don't look at the guy up, right? It's obviously, it parallels to real life there, right? Everybody fighting amongst themselves so they don't look upwards. Rob Futt, EA is stuck like a stepmom in a dryer. Okay, see. JPRZ, simple reason why they won't give player of the month, because they are lazy and don't care about the game. Only money. Only money. No, I think you're probably right. It has to be laziness. I don't see why it would be anything besides laziness, right? I mean, what's the literal reason for stopping player of the month other than, nah, we don't care anymore. We've got Mehmet, who says, as a 10 to 13 win player, I got my first 8 wins today. I am happy as fuck. Congratulate me, friends. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So you probably went 8-0 to start your weekend league, and then you're a 10 to 13 win player. 8-0, you're kind of on track for like, you probably get a 13 winner there. I mean, listen, I like positivity. I'll congratulate you for it, but it doesn't seem like that's that out of the realm of like the ordinary, I suppose. What happens a lot too with people is like it kicks in when people who maybe you're an 8 or 9 win player and you start 8-0, right? And then you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get 13, 14 wins. Then the matchmaking kicks in. You're like, holy shit, get your ass kicked when you have like 10 wins, right? You barely do better than what you maybe usually do. Next up here is Andy. So you cry about good cards aren't packable, and now you're crying the power curve has been pushed too much. Then you'll cry that cards are cheap on the market. You and the rest of the community are idiots, and honestly, I feel bad for EA that can't please you ungrateful people. And I mean, listen, there's a lot of nuance that goes into this. And the first thing I said to respond to this is like, things are not black and white, right? So you cry good cards aren't packable, and now you're crying the power curve has been pushed too much. So I guess you're probably saying you have to have one or the other there. I don't think you have to. I think you can find balances in all of this stuff. I think EA can find the balance in market prices, and can find the balance in packable, attainable cards, and find the balance in the power curve. That's going back to even like the first part. I mean, we've seen years. I could ask you, Andy, like, were there years in the past where you enjoyed the balance between the power curve and cards being cheap and things like that? I'm sure you'd probably say yes. If I had to guess, you'd probably say there's been better balances in previous years. So that just in turn immediately you already know we can improve that, let alone an improvement on even the best FIFAs, right? We can obviously always have some improvements on this stuff. And your first part doesn't even really make sense either anyway, because cards aren't packable, and also the power curve is being pushed too much, as in you saying you can't have that. You can't have one or the other. Well, we have it right now because Evos push the power curve like crazy and cards aren't packable. So yes, we have both of those. So just, you know, if things were as easy as this, as black and white as this, it'd be the world would be fucking easy to figure out, man. It would be really easy if it was all black and white like this. Almost nothing is. And I do agree with there's a certain part of people that, yeah, you'll never be able to please. Yes, that just goes with anybody in life. There's people in your life that you will never be able to please. So yes, there are people that EA probably shouldn't listen to because they will never be happy. That exists 100%. You're right about that. What you are wrong about though is talking in such conviction when those first, 2 sentences there are just not right. Simple as that. Next up, 77 Ace. Stop putting out cups. This gameplay is depressing. And then Johnny says, see you in the next cup. Well, if you don't have fun playing the cups, then don't play them. I can't blame you for that. Definitely not. The gameplay has been a shit show really for the last couple months. I think we did have it pretty decent though for that first few weeks, maybe even a month or so of the new gameplay patch. It was pretty good, honestly. But of course, just as the time goes on, you figure out stuff that's wrong with it, and I don't think EA, I guess, foresaw that. Maybe, I'm not really sure. Maybe they just didn't really care. TRP has a big comment here, but in totality, he's just kind of going over his complaints here. And the biggest thing people don't talk about with certain complaints in this game is the game modes aspect. I think even despite all of the power curve stuff we have right now, you know, the issues that we have right now, if you have a core base fun game modes, you immediately help with so much. And I don't think EA have that. They have not struck that balance yet of competitive stuff, because you need the competitive stuff too, like the ultra uber sweaty stuff, and you do need the more casual stuff, which Rush kind of has been that, but they haven't really cared about Rush to the same level as maybe you would hope they have this year. I really hope next year is that year where we get some sort of maybe cup type game mode, Champions League type game mode, that of course there's an inherent level of sweat to any competitive game mode, but it's just a lot more laid back and chill. No game limits on shit. I mean, you guys know we've talked about this before. Jeff Lyons, Nepenthez is easily in his 50s now. He dyes his stupid hair and is so far out of touch with the average FC player, it's ridiculous. I wish he would just go to Fortnite or Minecraft and disappear, please. Listen, Jeff, I'm sorry Nepenthez fucked your wife. Like, what made what made you so mad at Nep? I don't watch his content, so I don't know for sure. I used to back in 2013, 14, 15, 16 times when I first started playing the game, so I can't really say if he is out of touch or not. I have no idea. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I guess he had your wife biting the pillow. I guess I'm not sure, Jeff. Mehmet's back again, bro. The most crucial thing with cards that come for the cup is that EA manipulation tactic to get more people to play the game just to get that card. Even if it doesn't fit in their team, they will sweat their savings and their lives to get that only the worthy can get it type of cards. I see what you're trying to say here, where it's like a psychological tactic to you want to try and get that card because it's rare, not because it's even like cool or anything. It's just because it's rare, kind of like the NFT kind of thing. That was kind of part of it, where that blew up for a while because it was just like, oh, it's rare, it's cool, I want it. Meanwhile, the practicality of it, like, are you going to use it in your team? It maybe isn't really there. But at the same time, I mean, there are people who will like that Javi Simons and they will make their team. So it's just, you got to find that balance of like, not every piece of content that will be released is gonna be crazy or insane, but you do have to release some types of content that is that way. And right now we've just been so bland, right, for a while. So when that comes out, it's like, okay, even that's not maybe even that cool, and then you really don't have much to look forward to. And we got my TS Sampa, my T Sampa, I apologize. Having playstyles is better than no playstyles. So okay, you're of the opinion that you do like playstyles more than no playstyles. I want to remind you guys, by the way, everything I'm saying here is literally just my opinion on stuff. I'm not claiming I have all the right answers. Okay, I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be that, like, I probably have some ideas that are fucking horse shit. Okay, I'm well aware if that's the case. And if you ever disagree with something I say, then leave a comment about it, because I'm probably gonna end up reading it and looking through it. So I always appreciate anybody who's watching and leaving comments and stuff. Bear X86, I'm turning 39 in a few weeks. FC 25 can be fun. The game is what you make it. Heart emoji. It's 100% right. You can find fun in this game. 100% you can. It's what you make it. I totally agree. And there are things EA do that are fun. I mean, we got to acknowledge that too, that of course EA drops stuff that's fun. Like, they do it, but it's just nowhere near the level any of us would hope. And in fact, it's really, I mean, especially this year, not even close to the level we hoped. And then honestly, we don't need to get into the whole, addiction stuff and the ethics of the gambling and that kind of thing, because that's a different story that EA also do. That's where the reprehensibleness, is that a word, where that comes in. But trying to be as objective as I can be, EA do drop some fun things like that. That's undeniable. Doesn't make up for the rest of the stuff though, obviously. Jonathan C, he says here that playstyles were a copy of the badge system in 2K, but they should have copied it all the way. It would have been a positive, because yeah, in badges in 2K, you get to like basically give your player really any playstyles you almost want, as long as you grind up for them, right? Like badges in 2K, it's a grind system where you do practices and you play games to like earn up to get the badges. And the badges in 2K, that's what makes it good, really. That's why the system works, because you can just work up for it. Yeah, there's certain badges that say a center, a 7-foot guy can't get, like a handles badge, right? Certain things like that, because he obviously, they're trying to balance the game out where you can't have a 7'3" guy, doing crazy crossovers and shit. But you can work up badges that he can earn. So that's where they fucked up here, is that they wanted to make it basically just a monetization thing rather than like a cool, useful thing in game, which that was obviously still a part of it. That was just secondary to the monetization of it. And that's where, yeah, you're right. It really, they should have gone all the way and copied it, because then it would have been better. And yeah, imagine getting to grind up playstyles on players by using them a lot, right? That would be a lot of fun. Jamie Vardy is the GOAT. The game has become a chore, only playing to get rewards and not for fun because the gameplay is so bad. Rewards are shit. Been totally addicted to Monster Hunter Wilds. Still watch your vids to see what's going on, but won't be coming back this year. Hey, let me know in the comments if you're having fun playing other games right now. If you still watch and you don't play this game, by the way, I mean, you are the MVP. I appreciate you so much. We'll welcome you back in. You can check into the shit show once in a while and see what's going on. We've got Gullyfoot Tony. The power curve is buckled and high-rated cards have become so cheap because EA made playstyles and roles meta. I've got some cards with crazy stats, but because they won't perform in most of my team's playstyle, I haven't used them. That's another big part of this too. Because the meta is so high, if you get experimental with a different formation, you'll get cooked. So that's where the game mode thing comes in here, where the way they have the market right now would be perfect if they promoted like trying out a bunch of different cards. Just go and use a shit ton of cards on a weekly basis just to try them out, right? If they had game modes that encouraged that kind of thing, it would be awesome, because that's really what this game is shaped up for, right? This game mode, or sorry, this game's market is set up in that way where that kind of game mode would be awesome. You don't really have that. And that's why I think that honestly, the game modes would be a huge help. I mean, I think that even with this way, the way the market is right now, they could change things a lot by just making a better game mode. And your boy Oven says, if you want to, you can, yeah. Sumya Jeets is happy Sunday, Brody. Drunk listening to JFC. Hey, I feel like watching my videos when you're drunk, you're not going to understand a damn thing I'm saying. Sober people already have a hard enough time with it. But thanks for listening and being here, of course. Gullyfoot Tony, again, I think EA should make a separate knockout cup mode instead of placing the event in friendlies. I 100% agree with that. And it's sweatier than your crease in a hot summer day. That's sweaty. And Domino's, making Simons a cup reward is stupid. And Modern Welfare disagrees and says it's genius, actually. This is one of those things, too, again, where if they're going to make a cup reward, some people will say it's stupid because they looked forward to a Javi Simons SBC and then they didn't get to get him. So there'll always be a card that whatever SBC that was leased to come out ends up being in the objective, people won't be happy with. So that one is like, I don't know how EA really win in that case. Maybe I guess your take is that they shouldn't do players there and should be just packs, I guess. But I guess I don't really know what your take is there. Maybe if you're watching Domino's, let me know in the comments. We got This is Mark Mack, and this is a long one, but he does like the first thing. I'm interested in this comment, so let's read through some of this and we'll see how far we go in. This is Mark Mack. I don't think you understand how content works from the game's point of view. As of this moment, and even from the start of the game, there is a schedule and they already know what's coming out until the game ends. If and just if there was a course correction in January, the content team would have had to replot the entire schedule to game end so that they would still know exactly how this game is going to play out. So given that the power curve is where it's at, the two possibilities is that the final phase, basically the point where we get all the cards free, like August, gets extended, or they've squeezed the original curve because they have something new planned for the end. So you're saying there's two possibilities. One is that the August-July point this year is going to be longer than previous years, so that they're trying to extend that final phase, or they've squeezed the original curve because they planned something new for the end. Those are your kind of two suggestions there. EA doesn't meet every week and ask themselves what's going to happen next. That's what we do. Save for a few cards which they can add as needed. Content for the rest of the year is already locked in. We just act like it isn't because we don't know. And I could definitely be, when I explain things, I definitely can poorly explain things. I am aware that EA, see, this is where I think maybe there is some disagreement here, because I think EA have a tentative plan. I don't think they have a fully, like, say when we get to November, they know the player SBCs in May. I don't think that it's that far. I mean, you might not even be saying that. Like, they don't know the literal player SBCs, but they know what the stats will be and what the stats are generally going to be. I think that, yeah, they know, they have an idea, obviously a roadmap of what the power curve is going to look like throughout the year. But I think that it's tentative enough to the point that they can make changes in there, because I think it just wouldn't be smart from EA's point of view to leave no room for error, right? Leave no margin for error depending on what happens in the game, where, yeah, what happened this year was 82 by 20s and during team of the year time when the power curve got crazy. So I think that they can change. I mean, honestly, maybe this is a point to your case where we haven't seen a change yet in the power curve, and I think maybe they would have made some type of change if they like had an open-minded stuff and it was quite tentative. I think for the next month at least, there's like fully content planned out. I think right about, my guess is about a month. They know the player SBC coming out, I would guess, like in the middle of June. Like they know that. I think, I'm not sure what the cutoff date is, but I don't know if there's a real legitimate concrete set in stone plan for 3 months ahead of time. I don't think there probably is that. I think it's tentative enough they can make changes to it. So that's where I think that we slightly disagree in that sense, because I think you're trying to say that like it's set in stone, right? And they're not going to change that. And we act like they can change it. And really the whole content for the rest of the year is locked in, and we act like it's a surprise because we don't know, we haven't seen it yet. I think there, yeah, to a certain level, yes, but I think also to like the next level of that is I think EA can make changes to it given a certain amount of time. And that's why I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet, because I think EA, you would expect, would be ahead of the stuff that we see and notice, right? You'd expect them to be ahead of like, hey, we can see there might be a power curve issue. Let's maybe change things up a bit. But instead, no, we've had this issue now. TOTS has been basically meh for 3 weeks now, and there's been nothing. No changes, no difference or anything like that. So that's where, for me, I would be hoping that they are more water than that, more liquid. They can make more changes. But to your point, though, it looks like maybe they aren't. So maybe you might be right in the sense that it's locked in super ahead of time and they will not change it. And basically, I'm assuming you're probably thinking that like, yeah, we're probably screwed for the rest of the year, or they might plan something for the end of this year that we've not seen before, right? And this is all speculation, of course. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they plan content, right? But my guess would be like the course correction on like replotting the whole content schedule to end game. I think that would be an undertaking, but maybe not quite as big as maybe you think it is. Maybe that's where like our disagreement comes in a little bit. But then again, yeah, I have no fucking idea, so I'm just guessing, right? Rico, icon picks change every 2 weeks. Surprised they're changing it. Yeah, it actually ended up not being the repeatable icon pick. It ended up being just like a one-off that you can do every couple of days. Next up is iPhone Daily. Have you ever had a 100% smooth and fast match in FC25? I did, in between 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. when almost no one online, and the game could be as smooth as it should be, and it was really fun to play. If EA managed to make that, during the daytime, people would come back. And yeah, I agree with you. I think I even underestimated the level that gameplay truly matters. I mean, gameplay always has mattered, but when they made that gameplay patch and that many people came back, that surprised me even to see that many players came back. So I agree with you at this point. Kenix Gaming, we need exchanges so bad. My whole dupe storage is full of 88 plus rated players. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't understand that one. That's one of those things again there. We talk about the roadmap of content. Like, what exchanges really hinder that badly when they see things are not going well, and exchanges are one that it just makes sense to drop, because even if you have all the player SPCs planned out, you can change the player SPC prices just days before, because if you want, say, a Root Hullet to cost 3 million coins, you can make him 3 million coins at any point you release him by changing the requirements up. So you can, no matter what the fodder prices are, you can release cards with just different requirements that'll be the same price. That's one of those things again where it's like, is it just not possible because they didn't plan this in January, that now that we're in May, it's like they can't come out? That's where it's just pure speculation, right? Both of us have no idea, but I would guess that that's probably not the case. And if that's not your point, please make sure you tell me, because I don't want to straw man you either. Like, I don't want to do that. We got nice guy, time to put on the red cap and campaign to make EA great again. Miyaga game, Miyaga engagement, Miyaga effort from EA. Yeah, that's who wants to start. Desi Cock. after the January patch, sorry, or whenever it was, a lot of people were having a blast in the first few days. So many content creators claimed it was the best in years, so they scaled it back. Clearly, the reason being fun means less buying packs. They're saying it's an intentional thing because the gameplay was too much fun, is what you're saying, I guess. I don't probably agree with that one, honestly. I think that having good gameplay only helps them, because if the gameplay is good and you care about your players then and what you have, would that not just be more of an incentive to go out and try and get the best players in the game? I mean, maybe I guess you might be thinking like some DDA kind of stuff where they want it to be bad because you need to be like frustrated or whatever, and that stuff could be true as well. But I don't think there's too much of an incentive to make gameplay bad. I think it really isn't one too much. You can make the argument though, like say DDA was in the game, that you have to have those frustration moments to want to go out and get the better cards. But I think in general, like, having good gameplay probably only helps them. Tori Williams, people were actually mad that we were packing too many cards and high rated cards were cheap. This community's IQ is the lowest I've seen. Now these fucking cards are unpackable. But yeah, you were saying that it was too easy before. EA have not made it too hard, and you're mad at the community for that. This is one of those things that I don't think the community has really any say on this stuff. I think EA have this planned out. The pack weight itself, they're gonna do what the hell they want with, and whether it's us or not, like, it would take drastic player count numbers to go down for them to make a difference in back weight. I don't think the community complaints would do anything. And I guess one example too, I just thought of the team of the year stuff with the pack weight, right? Because team of the year is always a time with pack weight is like the debate. I thought of the 82 by 20s, right? We kind of considered that a band-aid on stuff. Was that planned months in advance? You know, did they plan the 82 by 20s months in advance there? I feel like that was a pure band-aid. I don't think that was planned too far in advance because I think we didn't see anything close to that. We have not seen anything close to that, and it's been 4 months, and we've seen nothing close to that menu grind. So that's one of those things where, again, like I think they can band-aid things. They can go and fix some things while it's happening. And for example, like just dropping exchanges, like I think they could do that, and it would be fine. Mark Taylor, maybe just maybe they're doing this crap on purpose because they blamed poor FC25 sales/player count on people not moving over to the new game quick enough, and they want everyone buying the new Ultimate Edition from the get-go. So you're saying they're neglecting gameplay on purpose to make you want to buy the next one in hopes that it's better, I guess. That's one theory people have had for many years, that they neglect the game in the summer simply to try and get you to buy the next one. I mean, the game would be neglected in the summer regardless because they only have a certain amount of staff and they got to make a new game every single year, which maybe that ends one day, but not anytime soon, it looks like. It could be on purpose. You know, it's hard to know exactly how much is on purpose and what's not. I think honestly less is on purpose than people give EA credit for most of the time. I do think though there is a lot of psychological stuff that goes on in this game still regardless of that. So is that one of those things? I mean, you can't really deny it because we have no proof. You can't prove a negative, and also you can't disprove what he's saying because we have no proof of either, right? Maj K, player of the month not being here is pure laziness, nothing else. We talked about that. Yeah, it's just laziness, I feel like. We've got you who says, I think that playstyle pluses are a positive thing in the game, but how EA uses them needs to be fixed. Maybe being picky with the really broken playstyles and also having 1 playstyle plus during the beginning of the game, 2 for team of the year and after, 3 for TOTS, and then 4 for fuddies. So that's what you're trying. Okay, so I see what you're trying to say now. I think the way they could fix it, and my guess is going back to our playstyle talk before, where I don't think we will probably ever see them getting rid of them anytime soon. What they could do is just allow us to basically build up our playstyles, right? Build up just like badges in 2K. Every 50 games, you get another playstyle or something like that, right? That would be a really, really easy way to go about doing that. But then again, you have the people farming games kind of thing. We'd see less golden goal stuff then because EA would want to have to think about that. So it's still an undertaking for them as much as it would just help us, and it would become less of a pack seller for them. And that's the only reason these were introduced. It wasn't first introduced to be a gameplay thing, because badges in 2K were introduced to be a gameplay thing firstly, because those I think existed. I want to say it was right at the dawn of My Team, but it was really, really early on, like right around that time. They probably weren't even thinking of it as like a fully My Team feature. I think badges ended up in the game before My Team even, but I could be wrong about that. This was introduced simply put to be an ultimate team and just simply be a pack seller and not a gameplay feature. That's just my guess. Cyber FM, the game has gone to absolute shit. Not going to bother grinding this unrewarding garbage. PL TOTS was the only one I cared for, and that was a letdown. Felt so much happier and chilled since I haven't played it too. This is the thing too, where I see comments a lot like this where like I feel happier now that I'm not playing, and it's like that for one, that's a good thing, right? Obviously, if this game's not good for your mental health, then you should not be playing it. But you might have also just been playing the game too much, and you got to find that balance, right? You're probably gonna have fun in a much more limited capacity on this game than like playing it for 3 hours a day or whatever. Soft one, I'm pretty sure it's a meme at this point. Will exchanges come back? That is literally that's the comment in my comment section that is by far the most, I think. Next up is Aiden Co. I feel like Playstyles actually improved the game. It was cool to see whenever a lower rated player got a team of the week with one really nice playstyle plus that made them usable. Of course, this was really rare, but it was cool when it happened. It also gives EA more room to play with the power curve, which also makes it even more impressive they managed to fuck it up. Yeah, it was also fun to just try some new playstyles whenever my favorite players' cards got them. Of course, playstyles did increase the gap between the top end and lower end, but overall, I think it made different cards more unique. That was one of the things I liked about it initially. I liked the uniqueness in cards because now the top players felt special, right? You want the top players like Modric. I don't know why I thought of Modric, because I remember, I think really early on last year, I thought of him because he had a long ball plus card. And I remember he was the first card I think I used that had long ball plus that I really used to its fullest extent. And I'm like, damn, this is awesome because this card is nuts. Like, this card actually puts in long balls and separates him from other midfielders because those long balls are so crazy. So I liked the idea of that uniqueness there. And I think that that's maybe the argument for if they implement it in a different way, maybe it is a good thing, right? Making players more unique that way, and the special cards and the special players feel special, because you ideally would like that too. But that is, like, I think the biggest benefit of it. And I think that it's really just been an EA looking at things strictly through a monetary aspect rather than anything else, which is what they do anyway. So it's not a surprise. I think maybe they actually, you know, thinking about it more, they probably could keep playstyles and still make it good by changing the way that they're implemented and applied and built up, maybe. Because I do think that that uniqueness is cool. I remember thinking last year that I really liked the addition because I liked just players feeling like gods that deserved to feel that way. And there were complaints in previous years that players didn't feel special, right? Cosmic Gecko says, got 96 Olise out of my squad battles rewards, and it's better for me to sell him. My 93 rated Evo is only marginally worse on stats and has better base play styles. I finally get a top card that doesn't even make my team. So I'm assuming you probably mean you got him untradeable then. And yeah, Olise, oh no, sorry, it's better for you to sell him. So you got him tradable. Okay, well, at least you got him tradable, because in that case, yeah, you're gonna get a million coins or whatever. But this is one of those things again where if you pack an untradeable, let's just say I think of somebody, yeah, like an Olise or a Florian Wirtz, maybe that level card, Musiala, maybe. Are they gonna make your team? Maybe, like they might. And this is a bigger thing, I suppose, earlier in the year, where like if you get a team of the week card, say that's really good in the second week of the game, but you don't use cams in your formation, and he's like a base cam, what the fuck do you do? He's untradeable. He's like a million coins in the market. Say it's an inform of somebody. It's a cam, a Jude Bellingham. Maybe it's like, you can't use him. Sorry. That's where the roles thing extra sucks. I think roles are worse than playstyles. DCY says they just can't go crazy with content now because it would set a baseline expectation for next year that they would not be able to meet. That could be too. You know, we'd expect more maybe. I think that people are so used to like what content is like earlier in the year that I think they'd accept that content wouldn't even be close and it wouldn't be setting a baseline expectation. But maybe for new players, that wouldn't be the case. And maybe you even mean actually to set a baseline expectation for next year, like even at the end of the year, right? Like they wouldn't go as crazy at the end of the year next year. That could be too, actually, if they go insane because they fucked the power curve up this year. So you might be onto something. Gator Doc are definitely done with this game. Look at their earnings report. That will get them through this game cycle. It will. You're right. Let's not forget GTA 6 being pushed to next year. They can focus on the launch of FC 26 and blow smoke up our ass about the amazing changes they are making to it, and also the World Cup. That's the biggest one there, is that I think that next year, because GTA 6 was planned, and we've talked about this before at this point, but I think next year we'll see two things. One is pre-order bonuses out the ass because people didn't pre-order the last game. So we're going to see just crazy pre-order bonuses this year. And also we'll see way more new additions this year because of GTA 6. They thought GTA 6 was coming out this year, and it still technically will come out during the release of FC 26, just not in a time at all where it matters that much. And also what's even more insane is that it's going to come out literally like a few months before the World Cup starts, which is just gold for EA, because that'll always put eyes back on FIFA, back on FC, right? So the EA struck gold with that release date, man. They really struck gold with that release date. Keep going here. Ad Hamez, I apologize. Hey man, watch your videos every day apart from the days you don't. Keep up the good work, bro. Stay safe. Love you, man. Hey, thanks for watching, man. Love you too. Evan Timms, I made a dumb mistake. I was like, Galashi's not been out yet. He's in the Openda SBC. That was dumb. Thank you for telling me that. Graham Frost, I have packed TOTS 600 plus times. Haven't packed him once now that he's in TOTS. That happens. JW says I packed TOTS Sala in Elite 2 squad battles rewards tradable. He's worth 3 mil. I've had like 5 to 10 good pack pulls all FC 25. If you watch streamers / YouTubers, they have that many insane pack pulls in 1 week. So you're going all in on like the creators get better luck stuff. It's one of those things, again, that's so hard with all this gambling right now that you see all over sports betting and all this shit, is that how much is on the house, right? Is none of it on the house? And by on the house, they might not even be aware of it, right? The creators might just get better luck because they obviously are advertising the gambling to everybody, or to more people, obviously. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I really wouldn't be. And it's just hard to know all the stuff with all the gambling that is out there, what is on the house and what's influenced by the house and what isn't. Yasway, not a single video game has ever survived a runaway power curve. What's more, if can kill a game faster than any other thing, in my opinion. So it can kill a game faster than any other thing, including bad gameplay. So you are on the side of like, this runaway power curve is worse even than bad gameplay. I think that that's kind of for debate, honestly. I don't really know which one's worse. They both suck. I don't know what you guys think about that. Graham Frost, once again, I'm 48, still playing games, RPGs, COD, strategy, and FIFA is the only game I get angry with. I can die 1,000 times in COD and not bat an eyelid. It's one of those things, again, here. It's because, yeah, no matter how old you are, how many other games you play, in FIFA, you are in less control than you are in other games because there's 10 CPUs on the pitch and random shit constantly, and try your best to be aware that you're just in less control in general, so you just gotta be more forgiving of what happens and be like, that's just the game. If you want to keep playing it, you have to be aware that the game's gonna fuck you over sometimes. Giselle, who same guy who's commenting on his wife's YouTube account. Hey Jay, not really an FC comment, but kind of wanted to share something about my life and wanted your opinion on it. My birthday is coming up in like 3 months, and every time I throw a party, no one knows what to get me as a gift. So I wanted to get your opinion. I'm thinking that I want to make the theme football, and everyone who comes gets me a mystery football shirt, and when everyone comes, I'll have a good amount and it'll be fun opening them in front of everyone. Also, if I send out invites and RSVP now, it won't hurt the bank as much because I know kits can be expensive. Keep up the great work. That's not a bad idea. I think that I've always had a hard time myself of being like, I've had, you know, friends, family like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. I have no fucking idea what I want. Socks? I'm getting that. I'm that age now. Never thought I'd see the day. But yeah, football shirts, I mean, yeah, they can also be a bit spendy. Like, I mean, obviously people are getting you gifts anyway, I guess, because it's your birthday. So yeah, I think people will like the convenience of like, yeah, I know what to get him. That helps a lot. That's honestly, that's a good idea. I think that you're onto something there. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce this name. Not even gonna try. It's so dependent on how your connection to the server is. If the opponent has a delay advantage, there's no way you can get Javi Simons. I mean, listen, you're not wrong at all. We're playing a game that is, I don't know. How do you even describe it? I guess here the best way maybe is like ass cheek. Is that the best way? Well, no, because ass cheeks can be nice sometimes, depending on the gender, right? You know, I guess what's the best way? Just shit. Let's just poop about that. Tariq Alfara, I love football, but the so-called game is not football. I play 4 games max. I like to try different cards, but the gameplay is not helping. I'm so glad that some good games is coming in summer. FC 26 is a pass for me. And that's the thing. I think most of us love football. That's why we play this game. But then you end up playing FC and you're like, damn, my love for football has not questioned itself. Creed says, can I see your Isaac Toure Evo? I saw him with 99 pace the other day. I don't know how they managed that. Mine's still stuck on 90. Missed the new center back Evo by 1 stat. On the plus side, I can finally Evo my Hudlin again. Let's go Lanky FC. Yeah, Hudlin and Isaac Toure in the same team is diabolical. My Isaac Toure is still the one that was the Team of the Year Evo Star center back. That one, that's still my Isaac Toure. That was 92 rated, so that's just the same card I've always had. I haven't been able to Evo him since, I want to say, January. Yeah, Team of the Year, obviously. But yeah, he still makes my team, just simply because he's 6'9" with Bruiser, and that guy at DM is absolutely insane. There's no Evo chain there. If I had an Evo chain, I'd show him to you, but it's just a Team of the Year Evo Star center back. It's nothing too insane. He still has like 86 pace and 80 or 90 defending, I think. Aaron Thornhill, I literally have a full transfer list of 88s and 89s that won't even min sell. Hell no, my discarding for 500 coins. Games in the mud. Yeah, PC, there's no minimum price for them, so they're just selling for like 2K, 3K right now. I mean, it's insane. Jay Lincoln, nice to see you back, mate. Great content as usual. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I've decided to not get FIFA next year as it really has got less and less fun, more like work after finishing my actual job. I've bought a sim racing rig and Quest 3 headset. Gonna give Assetto and Automobilista a few months of my time. Also check in to watch this channel though. May come back after Team of the Year if things have changed, but I don't see it unless they start fresh with a new engine for gameplay. Listen, yeah, go have fun. All right, you do what you gotta do. Go have fun. I'll be here if you want to come back. Yeah, come check in once in a while if you want to, man. I'm always gonna be, you know, we'll be ranting about something, I'm sure. We've got Lamp Dance 4696. The only fun I had this season was doing Evos. Then they completely killed them by moving the power curve to the point where my past and present Liverpool team cannot compete, as all the Evos now have terrible caps. None of my already Evoed players ever fit into any of them anyway. Literally have one of the 20 odd Evos on my team. The 500k icon one you built for yourself. He's just saying, yeah, the menu grind's terrible too. I mean, 100%. And I know most of the comments here are just talking about the flaws with this game, so it's like been a lot of bitching, moaning, whining, complaining, whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I mean, if we were all having fun, would we be sitting here saying this? I mean, we just wouldn't be. You know, I like to preach objectivity, and I know you guys do too, because when I say something you don't agree with, you'll call me out on that, which I love. I want you to do that. So obviously, I think think, you know, we've cultivated like a community that wants to try and be, you know, consider things to be objective, and that's why we tend to be on EA's bad side, because, you know, trying to be objective as you could be, which obviously you never can be fully objective, but yet you can attempt to as much as possible. You tend to end up on EA's, let's say, bad side a bit when you consider all the factors at play. Doc and Rum, how many Evos are starting in your main squad? I've been consistently around 6 of 11 the last couple months. It's awesome that Evos are high in the power curve this year. It's the best part of the game. This I can fully agree with. You know, last one you talk about how the Evos have not been good for a while. They haven't been, but at the same time, this year Evos have been the saving grace of this year, basically. I mean, I think right now, I think I only have like a few. I think I have like the Future Stars left back Evo, Lewis Hall still. I put the Bruiser Plus on the Maldini center back card from the Cup, so I guess technically that's an Evo. And so I have about like 3 or 4 right now, and I've had some times where it's been like 5 and like meta teams, right? So that's the saving grace of this game for me. We've got Masturbator. I only need a proper cam for the power curve to be completely happy with my team, and the news of Javi Simons may be the last nail in the coffin. So yeah, you needed a cam, and now he's in the Cup, and you're not happy. Yeah, I can't blame you. Fat Cat Sam, I feel the age thing has to be wrong, at least from personal experience. I started playing in FIFA 23 and got the best div, or the best div I got to was Div 6, sorry, but it was fun. I then went to FC 24 and bought the game during Golazo and ended the year in Elite Division, and while it was regarded as a bad game, even though I was playing more competitively, it was fun. Now I'm here, I bought the game on release, got back to Elite Division, and it was horrendous. I sat there with no emotion, it wasn't even fun with the rewards, I just didn't care. So simply put, as a casual I had fun, as a competitive player I had fun, but now I'm not having fun. Yeah, it's the game, not the age. I mean, yeah, I talked about how I don't think it's an age thing. I mean, you're probably having fun playing something. For example, yeah, Jay Lincoln, he's got his racing sim. Like, that sounds fun as shit. We all still love football. It's not an age thing to me at all. Emmett Sheps, bro, what is left back Bale gonna fit into an Evo? Crying emoji. I hope soon. I hope soon for you. Alex H, the problem with the power curve is the 99 cap. They need to start with lower rated cards with lower stats. Make playstyle pluses interchangeable so you can choose between them from the playstyles they have. Okay, so I like that idea. Make longer seasons, more levels, and give SP for every game played. So many more things. These are all good ideas. I think EA won't want to do the playstyle plus thing simply because it's a pack seller for them, so they don't want to let you have the best playstyle pluses too soon on cards. They got to make sure that, you know, you're opening packs and shit like that. Doc and Rum back again. Trivella abusers are the worst part of the game. EA needs to nerf it to the ground. They nerf power shots, finesse shots, headers. Why have they not addressed this? I don't know. I think the only reason truly is FC 26. They're just working on FC 26 right now, and they don't care. Otherwise, I have no idea. The Trivella thing is pretty crazy. And Omni Caliber, we read this comment in our video yesterday, but he does say down here, congratulations on the engagement too. Thank you, sir. Somehow I tricked a woman into marrying me. Rajon Stooley, honestly, I'm not even bothered playing Ultimate Team. I haven't hopped on the game for almost 2 weeks now. Yeah, I mean, you're not alone in that at all, for sure. Quick Step FC, I missed the old 30-game champs. I used to log in on a Saturday to get 14 wins, log off till next weekend, all very casual. Now that's long gone. Now the qualifying basically filters out everything bar the sweats, which when combined with reducing player base makes it an unpleasant chore, and I agree with that for sure. I know it's kind of crazy to think about, you know, you want more games on Weekend League, and I think what you more so want is the fact that it was pretty casual. The most casual mode over the last couple of years actually has been FUT Champs. Now you can say it's Rush, right? And Rush probably is that, even though your teammates are dookie. You're just more looking at things like it was easy for me to just get some good rewards, and that was it. Now Weekend League is much harder, and like just it's constantly you're playing harder players, and that's one of those things again where I understand the point of like people don't want to constantly play sweats, but they want good rewards. So what do you do there? I think that you need a competitive game mode for sure, where it's just sweaty of the sweat. I think FUT Champs isn't even that bad of a game mode to have that, or Division Rivals, maybe just combining the two of them, make it one game mode, however you want to do that, and then have a cup or something like that, just to make it so that you can play casually if you want to, even though maybe the rewards wouldn't be that insane. You still can play casually. Next up here is Diddy, who says just simply it's the gameplay, and then goes into why it's the gameplay that's the main reason why we don't feel like it's fun right now. I agree. I think it's both. I think it's a mixture of both right now. Content and gameplay is why we're not feeling the fun. Dark Slar, I think, says FC24 was horrendous, and yet again, the shitty game designers and devs always manage to launch the new game worse than the previous. And you say down here, you know, the number of promos as quality of content would be irrelevant if the gameplay was good. You played FUT with gold cards throughout the whole FIFA 17, or until FIFA 17, basically, which is right, because the gameplay was fun. You're right. I know it's a different time. You know, it's 10 years ago now. But I do think, yeah, you know, as time goes on here, it does feel like the gameplay being fun. And I think that gameplay being just bearable and then game modes improving would make these types of issues like the power curve stuff way easier to handle. Germain part, player roles and playstyle pluses are stupid. It's like we put the players in a box. I rather it when I don't need to remember who has a playstyle. I fully agree with that too. They are putting the players in a box because it helps sell packs. So it's intended to make things more restrictive. We got Yugi. Well, only thing left is fuddy since I've packed and evoed everyone that fits in my past and present. Rush is now the only place for fun outside of squad battles, and that entirely depends on teammates. But it's better than shit in rivals, and you have to pay me to even try to play champs. Yeah, a low-key Rush is one of the more fun things for me right now when you have decent teammates. And if you play with your friends, Rush can be fun. Hopefully they, you know, I wouldn't mind them doing more improvements on that mode next year. We got Kenix Gaming. EA releasing this 93 plus icon player pick is only because of greed. They know exchanges make them less money, so they rather increase fodder prices with this with this Cheeks player pick that only gives out behind the curve icons. They're saying they dropped this to raise fodder prices instead of exchanges. Ironically enough, this did not raise fodder prices, so you don't have to worry about that. It did maybe marginally. It didn't do much. But I remember seeing this comment like right after content, so it's a fair assumption to assume that, but it actually didn't really raise fodder that much. Miguel Costa, I pack 5 in a row or I don't pack shit for a week. That's all, folks. Hey, well put. Yeah, and so you're saying the pack weight, you know, some manipulated pack weight there. And last 2 comments here. So Graham Frost was talking about how he got Kaka, which congratulations on your nice pull. And Hugo Sturk, my guess for the future of FC25 due to the ridiculous power curve is players rated higher than 99. Will we see the first 100 overall players or 100 plus? Imagine that. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, honestly. I wouldn't be. You know, FIFA Mobile's had that for a long time. A lot of games have had 100 plus players. That could be a way that they try and fix this. I think maybe part of me thinks we'd have seen that already if they were planning on doing that. They've kind of trended towards the last few years gold cards being not as good, so maybe we'll just see them continue in that trend this year. That to me is maybe more likely, the more room to grow and giving gold cards lower ratings, or I guess it's maybe just lower card stats than ratings more than anything, because you can give a player a +1 overall rating but make them +4 in stats, and then that's actually what matters more than the overall rating. But they're gonna do something to try and fix this next year. 100%. They definitely will. They know, I think 100%, if they have people there that are smart, I'm sure they do, they know that the game right now is in a bad spot, and they're going to try and avoid that next year, whether it be 100 pluses, whether it be golds just starting a little bit lower. They're going to try and combat this, because I don't think they like how it is right now, and this year was our first big Evo year, and they're trying to plan stuff around that again. What do they do with Evos next year? There's something to be said too for, like, if you want to make Evos good, will that just mean the power curve is almost always this way if evolutions exist to be this good? I don't know. Something to be said for that too. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people at EA right now deciding what to do with that at this exact point, probably deciding what to do with the power curve next year. But okay, if you're still here watching, that guy earlier asked if he could give the sloppy. I'd probably return the favor onto you if you're still here watching this at this point. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Peace.